Hey guys, number one Marmaduke fan here. I haven't done a good old Marvel versus DC in a while, and this kind of happened by accident. So, for our Marvel book, we're looking at Star Wars. It's a reprint of Star Wars, the 1977 series, number 48. This is from the weird, good old days of Star Wars, where just things are off model, and the plot is basically a Bugs Bunny or Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner plot. I got some chuckles out of it, but it's a really ridiculous story. The writer, Larry Hama, I know is a big deal in G.I. Joe, so I just imagine, Darth Vader yelling, Cobra! the entire time. Carmine Infantino is a really talented artist with especially absolute love of beautiful women. Like, you can tell when he puts Leia in her modest dress, he desperately wants to draw that dress 10 times tighter, but you can see her form under the dress. So Carmine Infantino, a huge admirer of the female form, and Carlos Garzon, who I don't know. This isn't the most stylish work I've seen Carmine working on, though. This seems to be a little bit more of a quick, let's crank out a whole bunch of Star Wars comics before the movies come out. It's really fun and weird. So Leia and this representative go to a banking country where they don't allow non-citizens to have guns. All citizens of the banking planet are required to have guns. There's no security coming in because they don't think you can smuggle anything in that's of value to them, but they refuse to let you smuggle anything out because they have precious metals and the gold standard backing their currency. So it's this really weird, like Scrooge McDuck alternate reality world. And apparently they're so powerful that Darth Vader has to obey their rules. So Darth Vader shows up and he has to obey the no weapons rule so he doesn't get the Empire in trouble. So he's got these three goofy henchmen, like a lizard, Dracula, and a brown turd guy to try to kill Leia without using weapons. And the entire time his helmet is off model, like the only picture they had of Darth Vader was squashed flat or something, so they're always drawing him with the weird. Every time I see him, it's like the thing, yeesh, I'm in this comic. Yeesh, I'm Lord Vader, and look at me now. Yeah, watch it, Prince. Where's my favorite one? I gotta find my favorite now. Look at like those memes where they squash the video down really short and stretch everybody out. So, and then there's like this whole weird plot at the end. So after Leia does all this Bugs Bunny stuff where she kind of cutely foils his plan and teases him about it. How clumsy of me! She crushes the guy underneath her foot. I've made such a mess. Oh dear, could you be a dear and clean it up? And then after that, there's this weird thing at the end where she pulled the wool over his eyes, but he pulled the wool over her eyes, and it just ends. That's it. I tricked you, Vader. Oh, yeah, well, I tricked you. The end. That's it. Weird, really weird. Oh, yeah, that's it. And then it says, next time, The Last Jedi. Weird. I kind of miss it, though. I kind of miss when they could do, just dumb, ridiculous, slapdash stuff like this with the Star Wars brand name. Bring back weird Star Wars. All right. So, weird comic, not super enjoyable. Hopping into the next one, we've got Amethyst, Princess of Gemworld #1. My only familiarity with this was DC released a really nice web animation a while ago. I think it was maybe supposed to be a pilot for, gauging interest in a TV series, and it had just a really nice Western anime vibe to it. So I have no familiarity with this character or this world, but it's basically a little aspect of the DC universe where, it's all about a 13-year-old girl who gets to go to a magical dimension where she's a princess and has magic powers and can save the magical realm from evil magical gem people, and she's got a hot boyfriend over. It's a magical girl shoujo manga, but for Western girls in the 70s and 80s. This clearly takes place after they've wrapped up a big story arc, and this is the start of a new story arc. She's defeated evil, she's kind of stuck at home, and she's not sure if she can ever go back to Gemworld. And something I noticed about this is how psychedelic it is, or almost has maybe a medieval manuscript horror vacui, that no empty space, fill every little square inch with fascinating, like lurid alien detail, like a real mind trip. So yeah, that's like a really fascinating aspect of it. And then it gets a little bit more back to normal, a little bit. And so like her hot boyfriend is wondering if he'll ever see her again. He's got like a tragic past that she helped him get past, and the evil. All the characters are named after some sort of precious gem, right? Like years before Steven Universe, they had like the gem theme name thing going. He's super dreamy and handsome, and super daring and adventurous. And meanwhile, she's just kind of like having a normal little life at home. Like one of her gem buddies has come home with her. There are a few weird panels, like this guy creeping up on her, and the perspective's all weird. It's generally got a really clean, really solid look. They're building like a mystery of whether some evil guys are up to something, and politics is all going to heck, and the world needs her, right? So is she, will she be able to save the realm and save herself, or will danger overtake the realm? It is what it is. It's a magical princess world with a very kind of like a very straightforward, like pure-hearted girl character, not a really strong, personality flaw, wanting to do the right thing. And I think there's a real place for that. There's something just sweet and endearing about the zaniness of it. They do a preview for. I want to highlight the artist actually before I hop on. The artists are Rick Estrada and Ernie Colon. I'm not familiar with them, and the cover is by Cullens and Giordano, and Dick Giordano's name you see everywhere. Like Giordano was all over 80s DC. So the new Amethyst, I guess they've brought this world back in Young Justice, and now she's like a 16-year-old, girl with purple hair. Her parents are worried about her, so they buy her like weird hippie crystal healing stuff because they think maybe that'll help her stay alive in the magical world. And then I guess it's different because she goes over there and she doesn't age like she used to. Maybe something changed off screen, but I think it fits with what it is. So this is like clearly like a teenage girl book, but they're actually kind of like paying attention to what the appeal of the original was, which was like, very much teenage girl princess. Everything's pretty, everything's beautiful, everything's kind of crazy and wild and full of magical fairy world details. And they're still giving it that kind of a vibe. And then in the interview, the writer and artist-writer, Amy Reeder, talks about how she had a hard time kind of entering into the mindset of a girl who sort of is perfect, a good little girl who isn't like a nasty young woman. She's kind of got her life figured out. So her solution to the problem is, well, let's give her an upset. Let's take away the magical kingdom from her, and now she's got to work to save the magical kingdom. Really good storytelling 101 level idea. She seems to care about the original source material and sort of staying true to the original source material. I don't know enough about this to comment on like why is her hair different? Why isn't she aging? I don't know. Maybe there's some explanation in one of the comics I haven't read, but very, very good. I love the animation they did based on it. A really solid comic that is meant to appeal to girls, but has solid strengths that would make it work even for a young boy audience. So Amethyst is the winner of this Marvel versus DC. I don't know. I don't think anything's gonna beat yeesh Darth Vader. I'm not sure about that one, Emperor. Delete this. That's it. I'm no more Marvel fan. I love you guys. Catch you later.